been having streaming troubles in the past, so I'm just doing a check before we start. We have about 7 minutes. Stay tuned. Excited for this week's giveaway. So quiet on the set.
Quiet on the set.
Testing 1, 2, 3. I should
Hey everybody, Coolest Firearms here in Marlow, Oklahoma. Thanks again for tuning in to our Monday segment of Let's Give Away a Gun. Thanks to Premier Gun Shows, we're able to do this for you. We were at Mesquite Gun Show this weekend. What a great turnout. Awesome turnout. Both Saturday and Sunday, almost. It's just amazing how many people show up and show their support to firearms, the community. Sold a lot of guns too, which is awesome.
Coolest Firearms here in Marlow.
Allie needs to mute that for me, please. Alright, so this was the gun on display. 7.5 inch, 300 blackout, OD green. Let's draw our winners. So, we know the rule. You have 5 minutes. We're going to shoot you a text. We're going to give you a phone call. Both of that, we'll figure out who you are, and if you answer the phone, great. If you don't, you have 5 minutes to respond. If you don't, we'll go to the next winner. And 4, 3, 2, 1. And our winner from this past weekend in Mesquite is Derek. Derek, we're going to be giving you a call. It's Derek N, if you want to know the last initial. We're going to be giving you a call, and we'll see how that goes. All right, so this week I want to talk about barrels. I have a couple of great conversations this weekend with customers. I was here in Marlow. We're working on our new silencer. We're getting there. It's so close. We're going to do some more production testing tomorrow afternoon. We've got some more material coming in for our outer tubes. Thanks to Trident Metals and everyone else out there supporting us. It'll be here tomorrow. Hopefully I should be able to get them turned up in the lathe and get them out there. But let's talk about barrels. So the question is what barrels do we use here at Coolest? Well, Coolest, we have a contract with a very large barrel maker who makes our barrels for us. So this is the barrel that we're running in our 7.5 inch gun. Not every barrel
Hi, this
is
is Derek.
equal.
Hi, it's Allison calling from Coolest Firearms. You won. You won the AR-15 at the Premier Gun Show in Mesquite.
How
Yeah,
awesome.
you are the winner.
We got the guy
buddy.
directly on the phone. Derek's the winner. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to keep talking
Awesome.
about barrels for just
All
a
right,
few
we're
more
gonna,
minutes because it's important.
We're live
The conversation
right
was
now
what
on
barrels
YouTube
do we
and
use?
Facebook.
Well,
So we'll
these
call you
barrels
back right
are
after
made out
we're
of
done
a
being live,
carbon
okay?
steel. So right on the barrel you see it's made out
Yeah,
of
is this the best number
4150
you have?
CRMOV. What is that? It's a
Derek,
high
I'm calling
chrome,
short.
high carbon content barrel. The idea of a high chrome, high carbon content barrel is for longevity. What's the difference between a button dragged or a broach barrel versus a cold hammer forged barrel or a hammer forged barrel? Well, let's first talk about the hammer forged process. The hammer forged process is they start with a larger outer blank, they put it in a machine, they put a mandrel inside of it, and they literally squeeze it like you would dough and stretch that baby right on out. Turns into the length that they want, the barrel. At the same time, when they're squeezing it, the inside of the barrel takes the form of whatever broach is in there. The broach has the layers and grooves all built in. What is it awesome for? Well, when you compress steel in a cold hammer forged process, you're creating a very, very strong piece of material. After they cold hammer forge it, they do have to anneal it and stress relieve it to take that stress out, but it's very, very strong. What don't you have? Accuracy. I know, I'm opening myself up for a lot of negative comments, but let's talk about accuracy across the board. I went down in we call our grocery store, and I pulled out 2 barrel blanks. If you know anything about barrel making, when I cut my teeth in being a gunsmith, making stuff, I started with barrel blanks, and I made precision long-range bolt guns, 1,000-yard guns, bullseye guns, bench rifle guns. But what we just started with is this is a barrel blank. They're 32 inches long. They're 1.25 inches in diameter, and there's a hole in here that was rifled. The rifling in this wasn't done by cold hammer forge. It was done by single point rifling. If you want to go online, take a look at Schillen and Krieger. They make some of the best barrels ever made in the world. Why? They can hold the concentricity. They can hold the accuracy when they make that barrel. And they're making this one at a time. While you're on the website, take a look at a price of what just a barrel blank costs. And it'll give you a great reflection. So the barrel on the left is made out of stainless steel. This is 416R stainless, and the one next to it is made out of a high chrome, high carbon barrel. So over my years of manufacturing barrels, they both have great versatility. We know that the steel barrel will last a little longer than the stainless because the stainless is inherently a little softer. Machining a steel barrel takes a little bit more talent, takes a little bit more time. Why did we settle on this particular material? Well, it's super strong and it's super accurate. Every barrel that comes in here, we QC here. We check the head spacing. We finish putting the barrel extension on. We go through the inside of the barrel. We adjust the port dimension for the gas. We check and inspect the crown. We check and inspect the lands and the grooves down each barrel to make sure that they're consistent. Why? We give an accuracy guarantee with our gun. We are telling our customers, and we offer this, if the gun doesn't perform, as we said, we will 100% stand behind it, rebarrel it, fix it. Now you gotta be using good ammo. Ammo is obviously the fuel. But for example, our 6mm arc. This is just doing a little bit of testing. This is with not an amazing scope. This is not on a bench. This is on a bipod. That's 200 yards with a 6mm arc. Not with hand loads, but with ammo straight out of the box. That's Hornady Hunter. That is a pretty good group for a semi-automatic firearm on a bipod clamped up with an 8 power scope. Hats off to Fuzzy for that. Thank you for bringing this in, showing me 100% how amazing that 6mm arc is. But we offer a 1-inch group accuracy of our firearms. So take a look at that. Thank you for listening about barrels. Talk to you next week. Okay, here comes the back reel. You're so tuned in, thank you. Logan brought to my attention, I didn't tell everybody why we don't use cold hammer forged barrels. Why do we use butt and drag barrels? Because they're more accurate. We're not banging the material, we're cutting the material. We're cutting it to such superb accuracy. Then we go back in and we hone it. Then we nitride it. Then we test it, then we shoot it. That process allows us to make a much better finish inside the barrels. So if you went out and looked for a match grade barrel, you're not going to find a cold hammer forged bench rest rifle. You're not going to find a cold hammer forged precision match grade gun. You'll find a cold hammer forged barrel for machine guns. You'll find chrome lined barrels for machine guns. You're not going to find an accurate firearm that's designed for accuracy and dependability built with either of those two. Chrome lining is exactly what it is. It's a lining. It's like plating. But what happens when you plate a corner? The corner becomes radiused, because the plating can't come to a perfect corner. But we need a perfect corner in our lands and our grooves to create the accuracy. Thanks, Logan, for telling me about how I didn't cover that. Again, see you next week.